guys, I just had the best day ever. I was in class with the basic students. So that's all the girls that this is their first time in cosmetology in the entry level. Some schools call it something else, but here we call it basics. And I absolutely loved it. They did an activity where they picked a random number, and in this envelope it had a hairstyle or a hair error that they had to incorporate, and they had to use their phones to find a hairstyle that would be appropriate for the model's length, which was a really good exercise because we know that in the salons people usually will bring you a picture and say, hey, I want this hairstyle, and we have to try to try to figure out how can we create this hairstyle on the hair that they brought in on their heads, right? I had so much fun. I wish I could have recorded that, but it was, first of all, I didn't really ask permission before I started, and me and the basic instructor theory and the basic instructor for lab, we were talking so much about so many different things that I didn't even have time. And to be honest, I really didn't want to record that because it was just like a nice little powwow that we really had. And then, guys, one of the students said that she totally enjoyed me being in the class, and I was so excited because I love impacting people and I love making a difference and just being helpful to someone else. That's what I do now. In my jobs, all the jobs that I've ever had, I'm always very helpful, and I'm always willing to help anyway, especially if I see you struggling, whether you ask me or not. I just love to help people, and I love to encourage people, and I just love making your job easy. You know what I'm saying? It's already stressful enough learning new things or dealing with a client, so why not be a helping hand? Also, I just wanted to tell you guys, there is power in surrounding yourself with people that have vision, people that have dreams, people that are open to sharing their ideas with you and just getting you excited. And I'm when me and my former teacher, I absolutely love her, we were just talking about some business ideas, just kind of bouncing everything off of each other and just talking about the dreams that we've always had to have for ourselves and for this industry. And she legit got me just real hype. I always say, anybody that knows me know that I've always said if I had a large sum of money, it'd be like Monopoly around Flint, because everywhere you go you have to pay me. I've always had a business mindset, and I've always wanted to have different types of businesses. So I'm telling you now, I'm telling you here, that pretty soon I'm gonna have all the businesses that I've ever wanted, mostly in the beauty industry, but you never know, my little last name might be on some commercial property that you might have to try to rent from a player, so watch out for that. But hopefully I can vlog with the basic students just to kind of show you guys what they're doing and things like that, because this is a really good group of girls. They are so motivated, they are so self-motivated, they just start things on their own, they are so mannerable, they're all so sweet, everything. So I'm really excited, but hope you guys enjoyed this very brief video. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so I'm just about done with my lunch, but I just wanted to touch bases with you guys about the book that I'm reading for my instructors program, which is called The Master Educator 3rd edition. And I just wanted to tell you guys that I think it's very helpful, whether you're teaching in the beauty industry or any type of industry that you'll be going into, even if it is education. I think it's really great to have, because the first chapter kind of tells you what the qualities employers look for in an educator and things that you should have personally that can be able to benefit you as a teacher and personally. And then the second chapter is more so talking about knowing the types of students you have in your classroom, which in this book they talk about that, knowing what kind of students you have in your class, what's the age level, what's their relationship with prior knowledge, have they been in college before, have they studied the program that you want to teach them about, things like that, and just knowing so that you can be able to shape your curriculum around what they need. Curriculum might not be the right word, but basically your lesson plan, that's what I meant to say. So you can shape your lesson plan around what they'll need, because ultimately the goal of the educator slash facilitator is to be able to design a program or a lesson plan that the students can be able to grasp, something that they can be able to put into practice now. Not something like, oh, you'll need it 5-10 years from now. Like, no. The way that you know that you're being successful in the class is when the students retain the information, they can comprehend the information, and they can also regurgitate it to another person in their own language and not get confused or not get frustrated. And they can be able to use that knowledge as a stepping stone to build on other knowledge. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that was really cool. Also, in this book, last thing, they talked about how adult students differ from like younger students, like, you know, college age, about 18, 19, and they were just saying that adult students, they have more of a value on their education, and they want to learn right now. They want to be able to put into practice what they learn, versus like when I was in college, coming straight out of high school, I took school seriously, but not as seriously as I do now. Like before, I'm like, I could get around to it when I get around to it. Whereas the older students that were in my class, they're like, no, I got to do this right now. I got to finish. And excelling was at the top of their list, you know. So I think this book is really helpful to have. Anybody can purchase it on Amazon, eBay, check, wherever. But I think if you're ever thinking about going into education or just want to be a better educator, get this book, because so far I'm only on chapter 2, but it's super, super good. I'm supposed to be doing homework, but the way my life is set up currently, I don't want to. And I'm gonna just be honest, I was supposed to read these chapters like a few weeks ago, but I haven't. I've really been procrastinating. So I guess I'm going to decide to show you guys how I do a few things, especially when I'm working on my portfolio. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is my trade for print contract. And I'll show you right here. It is just a release of the pictures and letting them know like how to properly use it, and I'm going to agree to use them properly as well as the photographer. And towards the end of last year, I really made a conscious effort to really be about my business and to take care and cover myself in business, because I've been in a lot of situations, especially free situations and some paid ones, I ain't gonna lie, where basically I've been taken advantage of, and either I didn't get the pictures that I had agreed upon with the photographer or the designer or whoever I was working with, or I got them and the quality was jacked up, and I've requested multiple times for them to be fixed or the quality to be fixed, and it's never gotten fixed. So contracts just help you and everybody else to clear up any confusion, and if it gotta go that way as far as like the legal part, like, you know, suing or whatever, you have something to help you, cover you basically. So the next thing I want to show y'all is the magazines that I had recently got in the mail, which is like the W magazine and the one with Kim Kardashian on the cover of Vogue. And I wanted to show you guys this because, as you know, if you saw my last video about me building my portfolio, I have a lot of magazines. Like, I love keeping fashion magazines, but I use these magazines to really keep me focused and to help me to train my eye, to remind me what I'm working on, to remind me what my goal is. And you know, like with the Peeled series, my whole entire goal is to do editorial makeup, editorial style skin, which is very important. A lot of people have not mastered that, while there are some that's really killing it. As far as editorial skin, because you can do full coverage, but you can also still portray that same glow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take y'all through some of these magazines and show y'all, you know, my style and what I like to do and what I'm really working on with my series once again. So first up is Lancome, and as you see, it's a campaign worthy, but you see like how her skin looks like skin. And then Dior, like just kind of looking and focusing in on her. Like basically editorial makeup. Look at these crazy people. Anyway, so basically editorial makeup is like your skin but better. It's basically like that no makeup look. Like you see how she has that glow. Even that glow matches her neck and her décolleté area, which is very important. Whatever you do on the face, you need to continue it on all areas where skin is showing so that it looks natural as possible and cohesive. Anyway, I was getting into my teacher mode. But anyway, you see how her glow still looks natural. You know, I think that's very important. Even in another setting, still looks natural. Even like that same sheen is shown on her arms and on her hands. Just I always like to just really stay focused in it. Like even like with her, like her complexion is cohesive from head all the way down to her legs. That sheen is still evident. And you, like I said, no matter the complexion, no matter how vanilla or chocolate you are, you always want to keep that same sheen, keep that same color story on the face. Hey, boo. You see Kendall anywhere on her campaigns, you always see like how her skin looks like skin. She probably does have on a face full of makeup, but how they apply it, how they layer the products, it still gives you that skin-like appearance. Like I had encouraged you guys before in the other videos, and I will continue to encourage you, get magazines. I was about to say makeup. Get magazines that mimic the style of makeup that you're trying to recreate, because you're getting inspiration. And sometimes if we don't see a certain style of makeup, we really don't know how to do it. Even if you don't get magazines, like use Pinterest, use Google. You know, like before Pinterest was a thing, or a thing to me, I use Google a lot. Like that was my number one resource, because I'm like, some of this stuff I don't know, but I know like my passion, and I know like certain genres of makeup that I'm in total love with. So I always keep a bunch of these types of magazines, because before you can build on makeup, to like start to, as Griselle said, before you start to decorate the face like with eyeshadow and blush and all of that, you have to learn the basics, which is going to be your complexion. Like, how can I get you the full coverage if you need it? Like for me, if I was a model, how can they cover up my blemishes, my hyperpigmentation, but still give me a skin-like appearance? How can I do that? You know, how can I minimize texture but still maintain the natural satin finish of skin? Or if she has naturally oily skin, or like, what's the look, what's the thing that I'm going for, you know? So I can't wait to show you guys, because I am working with, I think like 5 models. If everybody show up, it's 5. And honey, I'm excited. So I will see you guys soon. I will be in the classroom with the basic girls, so stay tuned.